this best of 3 will come to a head, and it's going to be Kaplan and Moret that walk you through it.
Kind of like that. Kind of like the last names.
Sounds like a law firm.
Yeah. Kaplan Moret.
At law.
At law.
Yeah.
Well, the most important... Okay, PRT, did he get shot up? Yes, he did, from middle. Started taking some damage here. And again, to kind of reiterate for y'all at home, as this game does take a peak in a certain direction, that the loser has no chance of qualifying a Pro League winner.
Yep.
You'll have a chance, but it comes down to a lot of different factors, and wow, look at that. They're not going to check. Actually, they do check for Tiburcio. The Turtles still going to be here inside, as they did have a stack towards the B position. Got a lot of work to cover, a lot of work to do here. He's actually going to push out from the flash. I was expecting maybe the rotations to come through before he did go in.
That rotation took forever for Detona. They still have one player over on the A pump side at Arch side. So, I mean, it is really looking grim. They also took so much damage early in the round. Really good trades from Envy into the B bomb site, limiting Turtle just to a couple of frags there. So it looks like they should be walking away with this one. Detona will try to still retake. There might be a kit down somewhere on site they could try to grab, but they need to find these kills quickly. Only one flash to work with.
And no one's peeking him too. Most important that if Envy
Might as well
playing
take
this
the
one
armor now.
safe. And they will back off. All right, so Envy going to be off to a good start here, taking the pistol round with just getting 3 kills, having 2 casualties on their side.
It's one of those things where like retaking B on this map without utility and being behind in numbers is almost impossible. There's so many angles you have to clear as you come in through that site, whether it be coffins, dark, new, first and second oranges, banana, like it's just so hard. So they will just save the armor, which will help them have a little bit better of a force buy this time around.
Speaking of oranges, why isn't there one called Tangelo? Let's be honest, that's the real MVP orange. Because oranges are disgusting.
I mean, I like oranges.
But Tangelo's is where it's at.
All right, then.
Not a Tangelo fan.
I mean, I'm pretty open-minded to all orange fruits.
Okay, I can respect that. Ooh, an ace that comes through. Does a little bit of early damage. We do see an investment out of Detona on the CT side. I mean, they have a couple of SMGs. It's going to be hard to really push through the attacking squad of Envy, but the grenade's going to soften them up a little bit at least. And there you go, Turtle gets the first, but one might be all they get off of this, as Tiburcio able to get one himself as well to make it a little bit more effective, a little bit more costly to the side of Envy. But they will have the B site after all of this, and I wonder if Detona actually going to go for the challenge at all. I mean, you can see currently VSM and the Cows are just sticking over towards the A site.
I would save. I mean, if
only
it were me,
PRT with the Deagle.
like keeping 2 Deagles and MP9 and armor on everybody means that you can basically kind of redo this round all over again. But if you're PRT and you keep pushing forward like this with already half health gone and a Deagle and head armor and you just give it away for free, then you're kind of doing it wrong. Like, don't give them chances to get frags. Why are you doing this?
I don't know.
Please
I mean,
stop.
Nifty could potentially fall from it.
You're also giving a chance for Nifty to farm cash with the MAC-10.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Oh.
I mean, that's cool. Now he can get the MAC-10. So, I mean, you know, it's nice.
I mean, they've got him locked into the site, so they can make it very costly for Envy. I mean, they lose an SG, which potentially Detona could pick up. Trying to rush out now in towards Banana. Probably trying to lead the way, gets the tag up onto VSM. And VSM gets another kill, and they lose the SG on top of this. So actually, a decent round for Detona in the end of things. They do save some good weaponry. They obviously lose the round, but they're going to force an entire rebuy out of Envy.
See, I'm not going to lie. I was like a little bit concerned that they were challenging so much at Banana. And I was really hoping they would kind of just keep the 2 Deagles and head armors and the MP9 and head armor. But they actually, because of that risk that they took, they pick up an SG. They keep the MP9. They have now another couple of Deagles around that. And so they have like an even beefier kind of 3rd round equipment value, I guess you could say.
PRT. The Deagles just doing some serious work for Detona, to be honest. And Envy obviously looking to farm up some sort of money in this round. More important, I think, just take the rounds as cleanly as possible. They got to the B side every single round so far. And the first time we've seen some presence out of them towards A is going to be Nifty with the back 10 trying to get in towards apartments. But Detona can't count them out just yet. I feel like Envy, like, in my head, Envy should be the stronger, the favored team, even with the coach coming in. But you really can't sleep on Detona. They do have that potential to just come out swinging. We saw VSM
Especially
do it
with
before.
already an advantage and this much equipment to work with. It's looking real good. So see, though, if NV can force their way through. There's a player boosted up top, though, but Ely actually clears it, and they catch the player pushing through smoke. So finally, they found some fortune in this round.
I'd imagine for Lucalzi, you're probably just going to save this too. Maybe play towards CT spawn. It depends on if VSM can get some kills coming in from behind. Again, Nifty up against VSM, SMG versus SMG. Which one will reign supreme? And well, it's going to be VSM because you're running out of ammo, unfortunately, and I ran with the SG. Trying to make sure he can still obviously keep this in the next round, and they will drop VSM. Lucalzi, I would imagine you're just going to be saying this, right? Or maybe look to make this expensive. Actually pushes in. Obviously gonna have money to buy up in the next round anyways, but
It would have been nice to keep an SG, though.
especially, yeah.
And not, it actually didn't get, I don't think they actually picked it up. So yeah, doesn't actually get passed over to NV. But NV, they figured it out, right? Like, it wasn't easy. Definitely had their issues, but they did actually muscle their way through.
It's a very long series for both these teams too, and
Yeah.
I mean, beyond
And
the
for
fact,
us and the
yeah,
staff,
but
and, you know,
I mean,
everyone at home.
the idea I'm getting at is, I mean, long series, but it's a series that you have to stay so focused, knowing that you lose this, you're out.
Yeah.
And if you win it, you're not safe at all. And then if you lose this match, think back to, one mistake potentially on train for Detona, which they could have had going their way. PRT, in the meantime, just mowing them down. Mistakes not being made out of him, at least.
No, it's like one of those rounds where Indy tried to pick up the pace on brackets control, and then they just lost their fights in a big way. So a change of pace does not actually pan out. It's nice, you want to be able to do that on the T side, change things up, but it didn't really happen there.
As we heard in the interview, I think this is going to be not only a scrappy map, but I think this has potential to be a very long map, too, between the teams.
Yeah, already seen that unfold twice. You can see the repercussions of those close rounds from Envy, though. They actually aren't able to fully buy into the round at the first loss. They do have the 2 rifles, but everyone else is on pistols only.
You see this dust?
What's up?
VSM's off it.
What?
And Tibercio's not. I don't know if that was spawn, or if that's just the map.
Could be map dependent.
Because we did have, so in the first group stage, which is why I've been saying VSM.
It could be because Tibercio has an SG and he'd just rather use that. I mean, that could be it. Also,
Maybe.
Tibercio's like their normal B player. Usually you don't want your primary opper to be a B player. Even though a lot of Brazilian teams have done that in the past, had like their primary op be a B player, like Fallen kind of trademarked that. Any of other players. Yeah, but Turtle right now at the logs with the M4 lines up 3. Really well done there. It's Fugly and Ely left now. They will be able to get this bomb planted, that is for certain. They did win that fight, but now they have to try to defend the retake. A man down when Fugly's already very low on health. There's a lot of flashes and a smoke to use here on the Brazilian side, and once he was already spotted, but at least he got away. They have no utility left either on the NV side to block any of these choke points. They are in a lot of trouble.
I'm surprised they're taking such open angles as well, considering the flashbangs, the smoke still to be thrown in out of Detona. Time is taken away, though. The pace needs to be picked up. They do have the kit. Fugly gets the first kill, though, and you can see Ely trying to play from the opposite angle. And somehow they just completely clean that up. I get they get all 3 players technically in sort of a line, all peeking in towards from CT spawn.
Well, the Odd never even really committed to that retake. He kind of just sat back and spawned and just waited to see if anyone was ever going to peek behind from like New Box or Dark Corner or something like that. In the meantime, they just kind of held their ground those positions and caught players crossing from Banana. So really well done by the 2 remaining members of Envy that locked up that round. They're now up 4-1, and they have Detona on a save. It's a bit of a deco over there. M4 still on the cozy.
I still don't count them out, to be fair.
Not as close as these rounds have been. I mean, these are really nitty-gritty rounds.
Some has the opportunity, though, to clean up, to clean house, and really... Okay.
That's a weird one. They certainly couldn't expect that. And now a boost over on the wall almost got picked up on as well by Turtles Deagle. Now a flash in there, re-peek into it, but Nifty was not phased by the flashbang. Gets it back to a 4-on-4.
Tibercio is going to be all alone, too. But luckily, I mean, the bomb isn't picked up to heading towards the B site direction, so it's not like necessarily Envy are going to be committing for this. Obviously have their potential to rotate back towards A. Ryan actually getting the bomb. They might even head in this direction. You can still see Fugly, sorry, Sam and Nifty going to be defending over towards the B side, throwing some smokes in, trying to fake this one out. The problem is they're going to be running into a stack in towards the A site, but they've been able to draw a defender. PRT backs away. BSM gets another kill with the Deagle. And technically the B side is now open, but they've been able to spot the bomb out towards A.
Yeah, but now that we actually have Nifty making his way into the B site and realizing it is wide open for the taking, that bomb will now shift back over. Now PRT is back here with the Deagle, but he still hasn't crossed the threshold of that CT connector or even into construction. Now a new smoke is down on CT. Nifty's watching construction side, so this should be fine for Envy. Should being the key word. Especially with the 1-4 that's in play. It's nowhere nearby. He's trying to save it.
PRT still can make it costly, though. As you said before, these haven't been clean rounds for Envy.
That's all he's trying to do. How many guns can he bring down on his way out? He's committed to the cause of doing economic damage, but he's not going to find anything. So 3 guns saved over for Team Envy. They're up 5-1 on their T-side Inferno, and they have been looking real strong. So this is a great sign for the North American side.
What are the chances that this turns into the quickest map of the series? I mean, obviously, it's been a very long series so far. Yeah, and to be fair, also the stage.
And again, I think the most one-sided game we had was 16-10, I believe, yesterday. I think that was the Dust 2 game that Detona won. Yeah, I think that was the one. Everything else has been like 16-14, overtime, those types of games. Multiple overtimes.
Yeah, no, you can't forget about that one. They're going to have a little bit of a timeout here, I would imagine, for Detona to talk some things over. Having not the most ideal start on Inferno on a map that means so much for them here in the Pro League. They were in the finals last season and would love to get there yet again, but at the moment, Envy do stand in the way. So Detona plays against ATK tomorrow. And Envy play against Singularity. So if Detona can somehow win and then beat ATK tomorrow, and if Envy beats Singularity...
Why are you doing this to yourself?
I don't know.
You know what we
and
could
if Envy beats Singularity,
we could just not worry about any of this stuff, and then we could let kind of the graphics take care of it later.
ATK would go through.
Yeah, you know,
sorry, not ATK. Detona would go through because they beat ATK, who would be on 2-1, and they beat Singularity, who would be on 2-1. Actually, they lost to Singularity. Never mind. I don't know. Let's just let the League Out guys do it.
That's what I was saying from the start. I was just saying.
I still forgot to ask though when it comes to Singularity if they'd play in relegation.
Yeah, I still don't know about all that.
Or does Complexity take the relegation spot?
I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, I'll do that in the break, if I remember. Someone tweet to me and remind me. Actually, Kaplan. You can also follow as well. Don't listen to Prius. He follows me.
So here we go. 4-on-4 as we...
Changing the subject quickly.
Yeah. I'm trying to get the hell out of there.
Hey, where can they follow you on Twitter?
Follow us. Pretty easy.
Pretty easy indeed, so why not do it? So he's looking for the kill. Tiburcio gets caught peeking for the op kill. Trying to make something happen for the CT side, but unfortunately it works the other way for them.
Yep. Going the way of Envy, it seems, once more. Big gamble taking place here from Detona. They're trying to reinforce B by swinging Lukosi over. Not a bad call. You basically win or lose by this move. Pop Flash comes in. Throw trying to clear from half wall, but no one was peeking there from Envy. Nifty and Ryan holding more passive angles towards logs and the side wall. So that won't work out because that Pop Flash didn't see anything. They know they have to gamble even more since they're a man down and the score is so lopsided. So they will actually shuffle all their numbers over to the A side of the map. That smoke on Library will keep them interested as well. Sam doing a great job holding their attention, but he goes down. But this means B bomb site will be wide open. Obviously, Envy can't know that just yet. They think that maybe one still might be here. They will certainly soon find out that's not the case. They'll get the plant. And it's up to Detona whether they want to go for the retake or not. It's going to be difficult with no utility, but they do have a kit, and they do have even numbers, so there is still some chance. You have to kind of start going for these because you're running out of rounds.
Well, they did invest double op into this round, though, so they have to be very careful. See Turtle going to be swinging in towards Coffins. Actually, all 3 players are going to be swinging in towards Coffins. Ryan's going to be overwhelmed, but how many kills can he take with him is the question. It's going to be 0. A big fat goose egg coming through. Nifty now has a chance, and he's going to fall as well. And the retake is starting to look good here, except Fugly's still alive. He gets himself 2 kills listening for that defuse to come through. He's going to peek out, spot out Lukosi. Now he should know he can continue to sit back, but he does fall, and Lukosi will save the round here for Detona. One small upside, at least for Envy, is that there's only one op going to be carried over into the next round. They can afford another, but again, that would hurt that money that they did have saved up.
Yeah, surprising retake there. I mean, usually it's going to be hard to make those work out and you don't have any utility to
Well, they got 3v1s.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of just mistakes on Envy's part, but I mean, usually your way of retaking is like if you actually have incendiaries left to flush out new box and dark corner or oranges, smoke off banana, you know, little things like that are kind of what you need to be able to retake on B. So the fact that they were able to do it without any of that, just winning duels, I mean, again, maybe Envy taking some mistakes on some of the ways they faced them, but nonetheless, it's still a big victory for Detona. They make it 2-5. Still full buy, obviously, coming out of Envy, except for Sam, had to go for the Tech 9, and even Ely's on the Galil.
Look what we got.
Oh,
Best shotgun in the game. Don't listen to Tom. Max 7.
Swag 7.
They come around this corner. This should be, wasn't an instant kill for Tiburcio unless he misses the shot. Someone's going to back off, though. It's not really giving the opportunity to go for a kill just yet, but again, playing the gun in the right position. We've not really seen Envy go towards the A site. The one time we did have it happen, they went towards, I think it was short, and they just got completely mowed down. So maybe that's been deterring them for some time now.
Are seeing Envy start to gather up towards the A side. The map looks like they're going to take a more concerted effort towards this area, as they do have a little bit of apartments presence with Fugly. I think Ely will be joining him, as that is a position Android did play a lot for them when he's on the team, is the apartments control side. But VSM gets a little bit aggressive off lane, finds a pick onto Sam on a little bit of a late timing peak there at the top of middle. Gives the advantage over to Detona even more, now a 5-on-3. Things are looking real grim for Envy now, especially since VSM is facing mid again, and he might be able to find Nifty. It'll all come down to timing.
If only you could shoot the gun out of their hands. Nifty gets the kill to VSM in the end, opens things up for short. There's still going to be a player in towards pit, though, and a man tucked away in towards site with 20 seconds left. Envy are going to have to pick up the pace or just look to save the guns right off the bat. Malta comes in. Lukowski will start to burn up here. Eventually, he will fall to Nifty, but they still have another player to find in sight. And the player over towards short, and no way going to close that out for Envy. Detona will be able to take 2 in a row now.
It's one of those situations where Envy just got whittled down too much before they can even really go for the main attack they were looking for. Like, you could see that they were looking to do some type of split, maybe through apartments and lane on A side, but VSN taking these late peeks at middle, caught a couple of really big kills, and also Nifty's pop flash he was trying to throw to kind of allow them to push into pit from balcony and maybe catch a blind CT just didn't really pan out. So basically everything Envy went for there just never really developed the way they wanted to, and now they have to take a full save in this round. Just one flashbang and a bunch of Glocks.
The change of fortune for Detona.
Yeah, I mean, they were down 5-1. Now it's about to be probably 4-5. So big streak coming out here from the Brazilian team, giving them a lifeline in this series still.
Well, the flashbang has been used. VSM's going to be waiting. I would assume Op's going to win out on this battle any day. But he does have head armor. I didn't even actually notice that until now when he gets gooshed up. So they could overwhelm him, and they're going to do just that. They're going to be able to secure the Op, put it in Nifty's hands. And with 1 minute and 15 left, like, they have time to work with to allow this op to get another kill.
And they have dangerous territory. Like, being in CT spawn like this, you can't really know what's going to happen. Like, you could be getting pinched at B. This op could face you from library and take peeks into pit and sight and maybe get another kill. Then all of a sudden, you only have one guy defending the A side at that point. So it could get very scary. But as long as they play passive and hold and force Envy to push into sites, they're going to be in a lot of trouble against unarmored Glocks. Like, I mean, Envy's not going to have a whole lot of hope to work things out.
He needs to be so careful here. He needs to not die. It's all going to be put on the hands of PRT, and will get the shot onto Nifty. Op will be rescued for Ryan now. So he's going to have his opportunity to hit the shot. Again, Lukowski's like, yeah, keep going for the op. Keep peeking me. I'm going to keep getting these kills. There's another one coming through. That's the start of the round. That's all on Fugly. And PRT will close it out. So the 4th round will be put on the board, as you mentioned. Yeah. And I imagine they did save the op as well.
There was, like, obviously one hope for Envy, like, if they're able to get that pick onto Lukowski inside pit and then get into the site and plant and maybe even grab another couple of guns that they kill both the pit players, that's a chance they could actually win the round, despite the fact they were on all Glocks. But Nifty gets taken out by Lukowski. Ryan suffers the same fate shortly thereafter, and now we have a 4-on-5 in Detona. All of a sudden, they're making a game out of this here on Inferno. The steamrolling that we thought might happen from Envy has been put to a screeching halt.
VSM with 10 kills again. Don't really see him on the op too much nowadays. Maybe it's just highly map dependent. Vertigo we saw in the first stage. Inferno here we saw a little bit on Train, though wasn't as successful as we would have hoped for. but he's showing he still has it in his repertoire, and he's doing some decent damage with it. We haven't had Envy really get a good answer. I guess the only answer technically was him not having head armor, then overwhelming him with the Glocks.
So pretty standard stuff here from Envy to kick off this round. Very default CS, just getting apartments control, getting top and inner control simultaneously. That's kind of the main thing you want to do. Eventually you want to get control of brackets as well. And that's when all your options become open to you. You can start manipulating CT rotations. You can start, you know, doing multi-pronged attacks. You can really keep CTs guessing because you're denying a lot of information. But they've never really been able to control top mid on a consistent basis. In fact, they've lost almost all their 5-type brackets throughout this half, I feel like. And that's been the real thorn in their side.
There we go, smoke's being thrown in towards the A side. I would imagine it's going to be a pinch on the B site. Take long control, get in towards CT spawn, and then kind of work this two-pronged attack.
Oh, this is the dream scenario for Envy. Didn't lose any numbers on that.
Can they make this dream turn into a reality is going to be the question to Versio. Not even looking towards CT spawn. I'm kind of wondering why. Turtle's going to be overwhelmed, and yeah, he got 2 kills, but it's still going to be a 3-on-3. It's going to be the bomb going down. Utility going to be lacking quite heavily for Envy as they don't have any at the moment. Look on the side of Detona, they still have 2 smokes, a nade, and incendiary to use.
Are they going to go for it all the way, though, is the question. It's a 3-on-3, you got utility, you might as well try, even have a health advantage as well, though they can't know that.
They got money to buy up into the next round, too, so the commitment will come in. Saw him this time, going to be able to win out on the exchange with Lukowski, give them a very good chance to hold on to this. However, Pewtee's been able to come in, not expecting player at Spools, and that will be finally Envy getting around back on the board. Getting one step closer to
they just had the perfect
up.
read on that. You know, they were able to catch Detona in a situation where they had a very heavy lane defense on A side, so they were able to pretty easily tear through our side. And then they didn't lose any numbers along the way. They maintained their health for the most part also, and so they get the perfect B split on just 2 defenders in the site. They know what's happening. They both play together kind of towards the back of New Box. They even had a player boosted, which is kind of what you're hoping is the off angle that will catch Envy off guard, get you a kill, slow down their attack, buy time for a rotation from the A side, maybe even get them flanking Banana or something like that, and give you some hope in the round, but just none of those things worked out. Tiburcio's boost gets caught immediately. Envy gets really clean entries on the B-bomb site. They wound up in a 3-on-3 post plant, but they still weather the storm regardless. So they do go ahead and build that lead back up just a bit more. They deny the tie, and they keep the money in a kind of precarious place for Detona.
Yeah, I have to correct myself when I said one step closer to getting things tied up. I meant more of making things that much harder for Detona to tie things up. 6 rounds on T-Sun Inferno, not too bad, not too shabby for them, and considering what Detona have to use in this round, there's a likely possibility we could see number 7 trying to overwhelm Tiburcio, able to force him back immediately, but the problem is Turtle's still going to be there. Only gets 1 kill, but the Molotov's being thrown in, they do thwart the push, they do thwart that rush and slow it down. But now Envy have still some utility to use.
Yep.
They got time to work with, there's no need to commit towards this B side just yet.
Yep, and they have 4-on-4. They had 2 of these guys just on Deagle, so there's still a lot of routes to victory for Envy in this situation. They know that they play their cards right. They can split this defense up 2 to each side, then they can just 4-on-2 somewhere. I think, again, the biggest problem is just like they never have been confident on being able to take control of mid, so they're still going to keep hammering away at B, it seems. But as this time passes, we're actually seeing VSM drift more and more towards CT spawn, so it's really all on Tiburcio's AWP at Coffins on the initial defense. Then he'll have to kind of start fading back, but if the utility is used correctly, they can push him off. It's not, though.
Yeah, the flashbang didn't catch up to Versio. He's just lining them up and knocking them down. Finally, Healy will be able to get in towards the actual site and dislodge him and put it down to a 2-on-2 as Fugly connects onto a kill as well. So maybe Envy isn't out just yet. Healy gets himself another kill. And Pierce trying to push him with the Deagle. B-Maspy gets that first kill. Now he's into the 1v1.
Uh-oh,
he's going to miss the shot. Trying to run away. He hits another one. No kit for PRT. He's going to know that he's not sticking the bomb. And he's just still holding his angle, and he gets a 3rd kill. What a big round coming in for the coach turned player here for Envy.
He's a manager. He's done it. Big play there from Ely. Big round, especially since they lost the first 2 duels on that, right? VSM and Tiburcio were unaffected by the utility, got the opening 2 kills on the round. It gets really dire looking for Envy, but they break through nonetheless, get into a 2v2, and eventually Ely wins out the 1v1. They get 3 kills on that round. Big for him. He's actually top fragging for his team this game with 10. Pretty impressive from the coach.
Who knows, maybe. Ooh, wow. Hello.
Yeah, they got melted. It's Brazilian barbecue out there. They brought out the tri-tip sirloin. Perfectly cooked.
I'm all about the plantains.
That's not even served from the dudes. That's like on the salad bar.
They bring it around too.
No, they bring out grilled pineapple.
Okay,
I guess
well, when I was in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, they brought it around.
I guess they do bring it to your table with like the bread and stuff. I guess
It was on skewers.
Nah.
I mean, I was in Brazil
No,
when I had it.
I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying that that's like, that can't be your favorite thing, bro. There's so many other good things that come out.
I mean, yeah. But I don't think you get like deep fried bananas covered in honey here in the US.
I'm sure there's some places you could, but you know.
Get deep fried Twinkies. 8-4 Envy. T-side Inferno. I think with the pace they're going, I mean, I don't want to call it just yet, but the pace they're going, they're looking good. Obviously, every map so far between these two teams.
I was say, we've seen a lot of 8-1, 8-2 starts, only for it to wind up going all 30 rounds or into many extra rounds. So I don't ever want to read too much into someone having a big lead in the first half. Like, it just seems like that's never really panned out the way you thought it would.
Well, again, Detona, they do have the max 7 for Tiburcio. The 4 M4s behind that. Utility going to be a little bit lacking. These are rounds that Envy need to secure to have a real solid chance to close out this map. Anything, I mean, obviously 8 rounds is already a ton on the T side, but
yeah, not bad
at all. Like the cherry on top if you continue to take a couple more rounds here while they're left.
Oh, look at this Turtle getting mad aggressive, pushing into logs. But it's a triple B setup, and triple B on CT side is pretty normal, but committing it this long into late round and leaving only 2 defending against top mid, that is a real dangerous game. Fortunately, they've kind of conditioned Envy to not challenge mid early with some of the victories they've gotten earlier in the half, so it buys a lot of time for VSM to shuffle back over before the actual attack comes in. But Lukosi, he's cooking, he can't get away, at least on PRT also, so a big start to this round for Envy.
Still didn't close the round out, though. With VSM going down, I think the chances are dwindling here. Turtle going to come around, spots the bomb out, gets the ding, but doesn't get the kill. Now Tiburcio just with the max 7. Realistically, not going to pull this off. Maybe can rescue a weapon off of Nifty from top mid, but...
Could be. Could also maybe get a couple of exit frags. It's going to be kind of odd, though, because I'm sure he's not expecting Som to be pushed this deep already into alt mid. And now they know exactly where he is. So they're going to actually pinch him off here pretty soon and probably get this frag.
Flashbang him. Well, now he has to assume they know where he is.
Yeah.
Look at Som coming from behind. I was almost expecting the knife there.
Don't think he wanted to risk the chance he might get whipped on in this critical of a moment and a very key map. So we do see Envy continuing to build. So far, the most lopsided half we've seen over these past 2 days was a 10-5, and that was, of course, just moments ago. 10-5 on Dust 2 for Detona. So will we see anything different here? Will it be even worse? Seems like Envy are destined for 10, considering the bye that Detona had to work with into this one, but you never know. Deals can be quite pesky.
Oh, PRT had a chance to really get a couple of kills there, really rack them up. Tiburcio's gonna still be alive, even have him push in towards middle too with VSM. I mean, Tiburcio gets a kill, like they've actually stalled things out. It's still gonna be a 3-on-3.
They have Envy trapped, actually, too, because they had a player in sewers there holding Nifty off, and then they have 2 players inside the B side itself, so they have a lot of information to work with here. That make it a little bit harder on Envy, but good Molotov there will force Tiburcio out of position, and he will not get the frag on his way out the door. Luckily, Lukosi, though, has been able to find one, but again, it's efficiently traded. He's also right next to the coffin, so he's being quite gracious. He doesn't have to go too far to get nailed in.
Oh, still a costly round. Luckily, Envy do have a lot of money stored up, so not a big deal in the end of things, but they do get themselves in a double digits at 10 from T side on Inferno. Can they get the magic number 11? You have to imagine if they get 11, even at 10, if they get pissed around, that final nail might have been thrown in for free.
I mean, I do recall that we had a 10-5 that turned to 11-5 because of that very case last map, and we still went all 30 rounds, so...
Yeah, we went
actually not all 30. We went, yeah, 28 or 29.
Felt like 30.
Yeah, might as well have been. If you carry over rounds from map 1, you know, we've still had 2 overtime games, basically.
Had a lot of rounds, yeah. The funny thing is, I think the break between this game and the next is going to be about 5 minutes, so hope you're ready for the long haul here, Dust. Should be actually one of the best matches we have.
Yeah, I think it's
this
the
whole group.
key game, right? ATK versus Singularity, Victor, really good chance to go ahead and move on to those finals in Denmark, but let's go. We got one more round here in this first half, and so far it's looking pretty good for Envy, especially with that frag from Ryan off the balcony. A tough kill to land at times, but he doesn't seem to have any trouble with it. Bomb is going to go down, and now obviously they have to go for this retake. It's the final round, but 2v4, not looking too good, especially with Turtle already meeting the Grim Reaper. Sparcio good for 1, but still has 3 more to deal with. He's got a kit, gives him a little bit of extra time, but still just so many odds stacked against him.
Heard he's a nice guy, by the way.
Okay.
The Grim Reaper.
Oh.
I mean, Tiburcio too. And speaking of him, 1-on-3, now down to 1-on-2. Time is ticking away though, and as long as Envy just hide, they don't need to face this. This should be their round. Jumps in towards the side, Sam will clean it up. And Envy, in fact, will get the 11-4 scoreline, the biggest lead we've seen so far at the end of the half between these two teams. The real question now comes into, can they close the map out on safety side of Inferno and get that first victory under the belt and put Detona into the ground with no chance to get into the Pro League Finals?
Chasing all my dreams now lately. No matter if I try too hard, nothing's ever enough, baby. No, I don't care too much. I don't care too much. As long as I can keep you by my side. I don't care too much. We got time, no rush. In your eyes, I always see there is something meant for me. In your eyes, I always feel different.
the final map of this series. Not gonna get. I mean, that's
Final
not
half of the series.
No, I'm not feeling confident
Oh,
about
I
that
guess that's
either.
true. It could be more halves if we go into
We
overtime.
could be
Yeah.
overtime. Who knows how this one's gonna break down? But what I can tell you, there will be a loser at some point in this match, and there will be a winner looking to hang on into tomorrow's games. You can see the Betway odds heavily favoring Team Envy.
Understandable. They have a
What would
pretty
your
big lead.
Betway odds be for staying sane versus going insane over the course of today?
It's an all-time high for insanity, I think.
Well, speaking of insanity, look how this round's already playing out here.
A lot of aggression at middle from CT. You don't see that too often, but it does every now and then happen on a pistol. Did not really pan out the way Envy were hoping for, though. You don't want to trade evenly on a push like that.
I should leave Psalm to defend at the B site. We do see Fugly rotating back in towards CT to help out.
Ooh, that
Molotov
incendiary, though, that could be massive.
could buy some time, but there's still a minute 15 left, so it's not like it's going to be able to
Yeah,
delay
but Ryan's
this.
clearing out alt right now, so they know what they're up against.
Fugly needs to start hitting some shots. Psalm just trying to stay alive, not able to do either of those.
Yeah, unfortunately, his incendiary didn't really do that much damage. They were able to kind of climb over it by jumping on top of oranges, and now VSM finds Fugly, so it's all on Ryan. There might be a kit down somewhere on B site, and there's a couple of players a little bit low on health, but still so much against them.
Yeah, I don't know. This is going to be a little bit too tough to do. And now knows exactly where he's going to be. So many angles to clear, and it will be Detona not giving up on this game just yet. They do get the pistol round here. Very important pistol round for them. And honestly, you really can't count them out, considering how these games have gone so far today. I mean, even just the train alone, they were up 8-2, yes. You can kind of talk about how they threw away the lead, but then they did come back and throw it into quadruple overtime, so.
Yeah, my only issue is that I feel like the couple of times I've watched Detona play Inferno, their T sides have looked really grim. So that's like kind of the one thing I still kind of am concerned about. But all in all, the way that they've played so far, yeah, it could be a good fight.
Big stack coming out of Envy over towards A. Detona still taking a little bit of time, though, to make sure they can systematically clear out positions and not really give too much in this round. More importantly, not give the round over to Envy somehow. I think that would be very frustrating for them if that did happen. Just swinging around back behind them in towards middle. Tiburcio's already waiting. This is a fight that Tiburcio can't really lose. Knowing my curse, there is some world, some reality where it could happen.
Yeah, it does seem pretty. I think you're pretty safe on this one. I think we'll let you have it. I don't think you have to be too worried. Though, economic damage that the team maybe could do on their way out could be interesting. Seems like it's not going to go too far, though. Just one kill.
Yeah, maybe they can kill PRT here. Or maybe not.
Just cannon fodder for the MAC-10. That's going to more than pay for itself with those 2 kills, thanks to the SMG bonus. And you can use it next round against what is likely to be even lesser of a buy.
You see some good composure out of Detona. I mean, with the pressure that's on their shoulders, I think this is probably... I want to say, I don't feel like very necessarily confident saying it fully, but one of the highest pressure games that they've had probably in their career as of recent. That, I mean, if you lose this, you're out. Obviously, you can talk about Pro League last season, but they were up against different caliber of teams, I think we would agree on.
Yeah, they didn't have to play against any of the North American teams there. They won the South American group, or Latin American group, rather.
I'm in the finals.
That, too. That's when they lost to Cloud9 and Heroic, I believe it was. It's a pretty one-sided games. So, yeah, and that was, like, way back in... I think that was June, the EPL final season 9, and then obviously the group stage was April, I think. So that's quite some time ago.
I should know that because I casted it, but I couldn't tell you. No, it was definitely in June. Definitely in June. It was after my birthday. June 17th, they want to, give me shout-outs next year.
All right.
I'd appreciate that.
Okay.
You gonna write that down?
Nope.
Well, neither would Tom, so still safe. Still 11-6 in Detona. Starting to build some steam. It's a deal with Envy on the buy up here, though. Able to push up. Not really getting any damage done with that grenade, unfortunately, but you can see the pressure going to be coming their way in towards this A site with Detona stacked up.
Nice flash. Nifty not able to escape either. Tried to linger around for a frag, didn't find it. This is going to make things oh so harmful. All the kills going the way of Detona, except for one from Fugly that he found in the midst of all of it, but it's still a 4-on-2 post plant. Envy want no part in trying to retake. So a 7th round for Detona, and it begins. It begins, Jason.
It does.
The climb back, the close game, the gap, it shrinks.
I mean, the funny thing is, we were supposed to have already started our second match.
Yeah.
Today.
22 minutes ago, in fact.
So, 2 a.m. You ready to stay here all night?
No. I was actually kind of hoping to not be here that long, but you know.
Well, we get to talk to Stunna and Davey. Maybe they want to take over Cassie the next match. We don't know.
I doubt it. I just had this feeling.
I doubt it as well, but you know.
It's all good. It's all good, man. Got some good CS. We got a lot on the line. And a great studio with cool staff.
Okay, well now someone's just sucking up here.
Yeah, you know.
I don't think the staff chooses who does season 11. Just FYI.
Oh, okay. Well, you know. You gotta
Covering
play all your
bases,
cards.
yeah.
You gotta play all your cards, Jason. You know, you never can be too sure. You know, gotta be diplomatic. Hey, what's up, man? It's a nice little.
You know, I did hear that Prius actually chooses who does talent.
Oh,
so.
okay. Is that true, Prius? All right. Whoa, all right, dude. Okay. You looking out for me for next season then?
He's like undecided at first.
Nah, he should. That's sad.
Well, you know what? Funny enough, Prius is not coming back next season. So, there you go. That helps. We're seeing the push come through. I mean, they obviously have the M4 out of Som. And Ryan with an M4 of his own that he did just drop, though, with him going down, trying to make these weapons they saved for the last round be effective, which, I mean, relatively has been so far. I think they're about to rescue Ryan's gun here. There you go. So they do have a decent setup. You can see the SG, the 2 M4s.
Yeah. Problem is they're just kind of all in the wrong places. It's
Yeah.
all on Som defending against B alone, and he might... No, there's actually no Molotov to flush him out of position, but he could very well get isolated with smokes on Coffins and CT. Now, he is getting a rotation. They could come through construction to help him out, or they might even try to flash their way through the smoke. Som actually good for 2 kills. That's not bad at all. Fugly comes in as well, and this last remaining T has actually been forced back, so that went brilliantly for Envy.
Tabersha still has the bomb, though, and he only has one defender to deal with.
Yep. Gotta win that 1v1 against Ely.
And he's got...
Only P250.
Yep, you're finishing my sandwiches. Nope.
Okay.
Come on, never seen Frozen?
I don't remember that line, but...
Well, it's a burst show. Trying to clear all the angles. Has to worry about Graveyard, though. Well, you hate to see it.
You do hate to see that. You really do.
If Tabersha wins this round, I think...
I don't think so. He's got such low HP. Didn't even check lane on his way out, and so Nifty will find the frag. But what it did do is allow a bomb play, which gives a little bit more money over to the Detona side. So that was like kind of the one thing. Ely's just kind of laughing that one off. You kind of have to. If you don't laugh, you'll cry in situations like that, I feel.
You don't remember that line from Frozen?
Dude, I'm not heavily, like, ingrained in the Frozen lore.
So you're not excited about Frozen 2 Electric Boogaloo?
I didn't even know that that was the name of it, if I'm honest with you.
Oh, it's probably not the name. It just it sounds nice.
Okay, you made that up. Got it.
We know who is seen Frozen 2. That man on your screen. You know, I think him and I look very similar, by the way.
I guess there's some, like, facial features that look similar, I guess.
Which
a little
one?
bit of a stretch.
Which one?
The jawline, maybe?
Very strong jawline.
Yeah.
Well, 12-7, and Envy are still obviously chugging away, trying to take these rounds. That nade could do some damage. Yeah, it does a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of chip damage. Nothing too heavy. So we are going to see that Detona. Yeah, he did take a lot down the one. They got stalled out for a long time at Banana, but now they are just forcing through middle. Defense has to just fade back and hold passive ground.
Oh, this crossfire, though, so deadly between Som and Nifty. ESL will eventually dismantle a part of it. Still has Som to contend with, and Som's going to have some backup out of Ryan, although he's only at 1 HP, and Ely's trying to hold on from pit. Should be able to gather some information, hearing the jump around coming out of Lukowski. And there you go, Som again, able to deal with another player. ESL will eventually kill him off. Ryan has a small window to play with. Lukowski now at 11 HP, so they've done some decent damage. It is very possible to retake this one. Just gotta wait for Fugly to rotate back in, trying to stop the plant from going down. And it still will be put and placed either way. 1 HP in a dream. Fugly trying to come in from middle.
It's a good Molotov, but Lukosi's going to get the frag anyhow, and I feel like Envy just... They're making key mistakes in some of these late round situations, man. It's so tough to watch because they did a great job on the initial attack. Like, they faded off of top middle. They didn't lose any numbers at brackets. They set up passively at Arch and Moto. They get both of those kills, so 5 on 3. They, you know, are fighting pretty well all the way through. I feel like when Sam went for that extra frag with the op in Library and died, I think that was kind of where everything kind of started to fall apart. Especially since he knew that his teammate Ryan had such low HP that you can't be putting Ryan in a tough spot. Like, he doesn't really have the help to take an extended fight. So I think it would have been better if Sam just kind of like holds the angle in Library, makes sure that no one Moto can wrap to sight, but generally speaking, stays alive and keeps the op in play. So it's tough when you have a lead like this and you have a lead in that particular round and then you just kind of make a couple of like little small things not go your way. And that gets a chance for Detona to route their way back into the game.
Those odds have shifted. Double up setup coming in for Envy, though, is able to save the op from the last round. See if they can make it effective, though, because they have really $100 between the 5 after buying in this round. Giving Detona a really good chance to hit double digits. They can't stop them here. Yeah, Envy not going for any early banana control this time. Have a lot of utility to expend, though, and they're actually being allowed to keep a majority of it. You only have about 1 minute and 10 left, and still have 4 smokes across the team. 1 incendiary now left. A lot of flashbangs to use here, too, so kind of reading into Detona's more of a slower style in this round after how aggressive they were in the one prior.
Yeah, just taking it more slowly here at top side of middle, but now the smokes will come out to allow them to kind of wrap on Arch. They have Library blocked off. They can either force feed themselves around Moto, or they can try to take the challenge in the CT spawn. That decide to smoke it off. They know that Nifty's there too. They heard the op shot. Now they can just wrap onto this A site. This is a very dangerous execute from Detona.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised to see Nifty actually kind of push like this. Turtle goes for the spray down, not able to connect, though. Nearly try to connect, though, from apartments in the meantime, as they've given up the entire side, and getting gooshed up to the wall is not ideal. Detona should be going up to 9 here, but luckily for Envy, one upside is they do save the double ops, and they do save an M4 into the next round, so still have a lot of firepower to use.
It's starting to get tough, though, because they're losing some of these rounds at A. That round's a little bit different. They didn't even really have a chance to fight. Like, they just got blocked off by smokes, isolated players on side the A side towards balcony and pit. Both those players lose their fight. It's a flawless victory for Detona. So there wasn't even really any hope for Envy in that round. It was a very clean victory from the Brazilians. As you noted, though, at least Envy's able to carry over a few weapons into the next round, which is very important because they do not have a lot of money. And if VSM can take any of these weapons down, that would be so dangerous, and that is Sam falling, so no op carried over, at least a secondary one, I should say. And there's not a whole lot of money to buy around this M4 and AWP, so great chance for Detona to go ahead and find 10, and lo and behold, the comeback is very real, and another close game is on our hands. Another game where the losing team will likely at least find 10 rounds. So no single-digit losses here.
The question is, where do you put this op and where do you put this M4? I feel like in general, we haven't really seen too much effectiveness out of the op for Envy on the CT side. Just want to point a little stat for you guys, if you statistician out there. We passed the 4-hour mark on this series. I don't know if you heard that, Dust.
What's that?
We passed the 4-hour mark on this best of 3. Started at 5:20. It's now past 9:20.
Similar to yesterday, we had our first best of 3 also go like almost 4 hours.
I mean, to be able to keep that focus for this amount of time for both these teams with what's on the line is so hard to do. Detona trying to push through. And that turned relatively clean. Again, the op not really been effective. Neither was the M4.
The trading efficiency is at an all-time high for Detona, especially on this A side of the map. As you noted, that wasn't really around. They had a whole lot that they could use. Money is still kind of in a precarious place, if I'm honest with you, for the T side, or CT side, excuse me, of Envy. Still enough, though, to get a buy together. Just means that they're not going to have double op in play anymore. They're not going to have as much utility. And obviously, if they lose this, they're right back to saving, and that's when Detona can tie out the game. So that is kind of the situation that they're in. Meanwhile, there's a lot of reserve cash still left for the Brazilian side.
Oh wow, this is very aggressive, but hey, it pays off for him this time. They left Som to his own over towards B. Pushed 2 players up towards middle, and Tavercio was able to punish one of them, though, at least. Gets the op out of the hands of Nifty.
It's kind of wild that they did not smoke top banana or something to block a player from being able to blindside their aggressor at mid. Just, again, a little bit of a mishap. But what has happened here is Ely's actually pushed all the way through T-side apartments. And so he might have a chance at a little bit of a flanky. Flankaroonie, flanky poo, whatever way you want to take the word flank and turn it into a cute term.
None of those.
Flankarino.
Flankaroni.
Okay. Flank Zoni.
That was a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah, that really I'm running out, you know? Trying to keep it rolling.
Detona have been able to get ground on the B side, though. You still have 2 players to defend. Well, now just 1. Ryan trying to play from CT spawn with the op, but with the smoke being thrown in, he's going to be rendered relatively useless. The smoke has faded off. 3 players tucked in sight now, 2 towards dark. Good chance Envy could actually take this round. They do have a kit on Ryan, so they still have a lot of extra time to work with here. The Malta comes through and actually is relatively good as well. You can see Turtle burning alive, 7 HP. Kowsey was on 13, but he's been cleaned up. Now it's just all on PRT, and they will be able to close one out. Again, 4 kill comes in for the coach.
God,
Ely coming up big.
Ely is really teeing off. He had a really big round earlier where he got like a triple kill.
If you're Android, do you start to sweat a little bit?
No, okay, let's not get out of hand here. 20 here for Ely now. Fragging real big. Again, it was pretty decent yesterday also. Had a couple of quiet games kind of earlier in the series, but this one he's teeing off. Getting job done. It's a big round from him.
Big boy round.
Yeah. So that makes it, what, 13 now for Envy? They're kind of finally holding off this T side, but there's still so much money, especially with that bomb plant added. And I think, like, last round, even after fully buying everything, I think their lowest money player was still, like, above $5,000. So they still have a lot to work with into this.
One more timeout left to go for Detona. As they're down 3 rounds, their backs against the wall. Again, if you're just joining us, Envy are fighting for a chance. Well, both these teams are fighting for a chance. Just keep their hopes alive in the group.
Yeah.
You lose this one, there's no way you're getting first place. And only 1 team moves out of the group into the Pro League Finals.
And obviously the 2 teams we have later on tonight are both 1-0. So whoever wins that will go 2-0, and that is a team that is in a very good position at that point.
Big stack out of Envy off the bat towards B. Big 3 nades coming through too. Not really netting any damage at all, unfortunately. Again, got to respect the play. Got to respect the investment, trying to change things up. They pushed mid a couple of rounds before. Ely again, oh, I think he just caught the foot. Turtle. 20 kills. Impressive stuff for him.
See, Detona picking up the pace, though, on this A side. The map flashes and Molotovs coming through as they all trying to press up lane. Ely is on the balcony, though. He's only good for 1, but luckily Buckley was able to trade from the pit. Still even trades will favor Detona as they make their way in with this plant. Smoke up on Moto. A little bit of a crack, though. In fact, a big wide crack for Nifty to watch them fall into pit with the op, but he cannot get the kill. A flash holds him off, and VSM gets in better position.
No one flicking in towards short, though. They're all coming from the same direction. Finally, able to push in towards the site. Only 1 player to really defend it. It's going to be Tavercio. VSM over towards Graveyard gets 1, and just like that, Detona will be holding on to the bomb site. Envy, look at the money they don't have.
Yeah, the reset's going to be very tough on them. I mean, obviously it's not a hard reset like it was, you know, years ago on the economy system, but it still is going to do its damage. Detona is going to find 11. Again, it's just the efficient trading from Detona on A. We have rarely been able to see the defense on that side multi-frag. Like, no one's really been able to come up and make a big play. Like, except for Ely, that was through a flanking maneuver on the A side retake. Initial defenses at A have been hard to come by, it seems, for Envy.
I want us to say defenses in general haven't been too strong out of Envy. I feel like the rounds they've been successful on just came down to retakes.
Yeah.
And even those didn't look necessarily as clean.
It's just
it
like
came
someone
down
else
to
needs to come alive. Like, Nifty was fantastic on train, has really been off these next couple of maps. Som had his moments, but he's also had a lot of quiet times, and you can't have your coach, Ely, be your top fragger by 5 kills. Like, that's, I mean, it's a nice luxury to have, but you need to have your star players, your heavy breadwinners, come in and actually do something if you want to finish off this game. Obviously, this round's going to be hard for them to muster up the victory, considering they just had that 1 AWP on Nifty and some upgraded pistols against a fully decked out Detona, who still has a lot of savings funds on 3 of their players in particular. That they should be buying all game long.
Ryan's gonna gather some info. No incendiary, no smoke, nothing to stop a potential rush from coming into the B site. Luckily, the bomb's still gonna be back down towards T stairs, so no real investment just yet here out of Envy. Time is starting to wear a little bit thin, though, as they're starting to group up in towards middle to make the push towards A happen. And a little bit lucky for Team Envy if they do go this way, considering the op will be there. It gives them a fighting chance as long as they don't rotate some players away. And Ryan's just going to push out the right time. Spots up. No one else is here, so they're going to hold steady over towards the A site. 27 seconds left to go. They could technically wrap around towards CT spawn, but time is starting to tick away. They're starting to lose that opportunity. Every second that passes, the chance is disappearing. Som looking to come through the smoke at the right time. Ely just actually waiting the smoke, uses his body to block them. And look at this, Fugly picks up a quick 2. Som gets the last one, and Team Envy will hold on.
That's a huge round to win. That's a round that you're not expecting to pull off. Again, you have such limited firepower. Just Nifty's AWP and some upgraded pistols, but they timed out those pushes perfectly around the smokes. They caught their opponents well off guard, and they steal one away. Detona thought they had that one dead to rights. That was their way back into a tie situation. Now they've been held off, and Envy are closer and closer now to series point. And actually, Detona have a couple players very low on cash going into the next round. So if they lose here, Envy's series point, yeah, you'll buy all that you can, but you actually might have a couple of players who will be lacking. And that's a lot of damage already to Turtle in this round. Luckily, he's able to still find a frag. Som trades it back, but again, even trade going to favor Detona. Especially with Som down past half.
It's definitely favorable for Detona's side in this exchange. Som does have a smoke and a flashbang, so you can buy a little bit more time for him and his team to rotate to help out. But look how many smokes Detona do have. So if they take this B site, I find it very hard for Envy to retake it here. And if I was gonna say if you're Envy, you might want to look at saving, but they still have a decent amount of money to spend. They need to make it costly for the other side. And Som completely blinded up, takes down PRT. Now puts it into a 4-on-3 man advantage in favor of Envy. And Fugly, more importantly, is rotated in towards CT spawn to help out.
Indeed, that is the case. A good defense is going to be set up for this B attack right now, and it's all focused on this. We're running low on time, and all the numbers are committed here. Smoke on CT spawn again will allow Tiburcio and company to cross in. Span damage, though, coming through from Fugly onto Tiburcio. Just kind of free chip damage. Big swing from Som. It does not work out, though. The flash was ineffective, and so it's even back up as this bomb still has yet to plant, though. Envy doing a great job pressuring them relentlessly, making it a little bit more scary to plant. Now they finally get it down.
Flashbang's being thrown in. Using their last bits of utility to open up a potential kill into the site. Tiburcio, I'm not sure why no one was looking over towards Coffins. Maybe it's just VSM over towards Banana, who does pick up 2 kills, does redeem himself. At least Nifty alone against 2 with the op. Time is taken away. He does have a kid, but I think saving the op might be the most important play that he could possibly do here. And yes, he will run away. He will use the op into the next round. Just want to get one step closer to tying things up to 14. They get their 12th on the board.
Issue is that they have to rebuy 4 players. And so that's going to limit their economy a lot, especially if Envy can win this next round. And Envy do have enough money to fully buy here. Nifty can drop a gun. Everyone else should be able to buy up for the most part. And so they'll be ready to go. So still a scary position if you're Detona, considering all of that economic information.
Some big kills coming in for VSM there. Much needed kills, so they could be looking at match point. Last time out coming for Detona. Double up setup coming in for Envy. The pressure's definitely there. Again, such a close game. Thought this might be one of our closest ones with how Envy were going on the CT side. Remember, it was an 11-4 first half.
Yeah, thought this would be one of the more lopsided games we've had. But again, most of these games doing great. I mean, those chickens are quite rowdy, man.
My question is that the Betway chicken?
I don't know.
You might never find out. Thank you, Prius, for getting back to the game there. Appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, we can watch chicken some more.
Ideally not, because this could be the round that decides the whole thing. We could see a 14-14 if Detona can take this round. I almost want to say likewise for Envy, but Detona still, I think, have a loss bonus behind them. I didn't see how many rounds in they would be.
Yeah, I mean, they would still be able to buy with VSM, Tiburcio, and Lukosi, like, you know, 3K, 2K range. They still should be okay. It wouldn't be as good as this one, maybe, but they'd still have something. They don't want to get to that point. They want to charge their way up lane, try to get this over with here and now. Ely, though, doing great work. Finally, a favorable exchange for the CTs on this lane side of the A-bomb site. As soon as I say that, though, the tides turn. Big kills from Lukosi and Tiburcio get it back into a winnable 2-on-2 that they are both very low on health, but it's 2 ops, so that kind of gets negated unless they can pick up a rifle.
They're not gifting them angles either. Oh, I was going to say they're not gifting them angles. They're going to know where Housy's going to be. He knows exactly where Nifty is as well at the same time. Catches him jumping across, and the timing works out perfectly for Lukosi. Puts him up to 13. The money, a little bit of an iffy position here for Envy.
Oh, that was really risky jumping up the graveyard like that. You could tell what he was trying to do, though. He's thinking this guy surely isn't going to peek. I'm going to be able to get a new angle, and then I can try to surprise him. But unfortunately, he took the peek from Pit, and that killed that retake in a big way. It's just, it's kind of hard to watch. Like, when you see Envy get great starts in some of these rounds, particularly how well Ely played off balcony to kick things off. I mean, you got to win those 5-on-3s. I think at one point it was actually a 2-on-5. And they still found a way to win, thanks to Lukosi and company. And now this round, they're just melting an NV team that doesn't have a whole lot to work with.
Was that the first 2v5 we've seen?
No.
If you think back to Nifty.
NV was the ones dishing it out last time, though. This time they're the victims of it, and it's allowing Detona back into the series.
Seems like PRT has an idea. The one where player might be pushing him from apartments. Just gonna bear. I don't think he saw his head. Obviously, if X-ray was gonna see him now at least, so.
Yeah,
we'll
now they know there's at most 1-on-B. Are clear to go in. Som trying to stay sneaky in the smoke. Does not survive the onslaught of bullets that were spammed through, and so it is all tied up. But will it go extra rounds? That's the real question.
I mean, it would be cool to hit 5 hours for best of 3.
Yeah, 5-hour best of 3.
We're only 40 minutes away of that happening.
Okay. They are giving it their all right now, man. It all comes down to this. 2 maps behind us. Map 3, 14-14. Loser basically out of it. Winner, not, you know, guaranteed to still be in it, but at least a chance with the 1-1 record going into the final day of Group A.
Yeah, if you lose, you're 100% out. If you win, depends on some other results.
Yeah.
But you still have a chance technically. You can see, though, it seems like Envy, no wind in their sails. I mean, it's an 11-4 first half. 11-4.
Yeah.
And they've only got 3 rounds.
And then you have to think, like, one of the rounds that they won was like a crazy eco win. Then they just lost to 2 versus 5. So, or 5v2 from their perspective. So it's definitely these weird little things that are really haunting Envy throughout the series. But you have to tip your hat to Detona. They have been so good on their trading efficiency, particularly on these A splits. Like, it's been really nice stuff to watch.
Feels like they don't really ever get tilted. I don't know, like,
yeah,
they could be down so many rounds, but still fight back. Ely, speaking of fighting back, gets himself 2. He's consistent for his team and getting kills. Up to 26 now.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that he's been top fragging all the way through from the coach role into a stand-in situation as a player. Oh. He's gotten himself 2 kills, but last time they couldn't capitalize on it. They still lost a round despite the fact they were up 5-3. But Ryan doesn't seem too keen on that happening. Again, he finds 1. Lukosi, though, is quick to trade, but still the advantage for Envy, and still no bomb plant just yet, but now finally goes down at default.
I think he spotted both players out, though, so it allows Nifty to rotate relatively freely with ease. Fugly's going to hear 1 player in pit. Not sure where the other will be necessarily, but as we can tell, it's going to be tucked away inside of sight. The Fugly coming in from long, Nifty coming in from short. Gets caught with the incendiary in the hand. Lukowski again looking to clutch this one out for his team. 2-on-2. Saw him just waiting for that smoke to dissipate, but Lukowski's gone down. Now it's all on PRT trying to play around his smoke. He actually gets behind it, the enemy. He was fighting. He's down to 9 HP, just trying to survive, just trying to buy time. And he's not able to get the first kill to Fugly. And that will be Sam able to pull off the defuse and put them at 15. So 15-14, it comes down to this here, Dust. Will we see overtime again, or will we close this series out 16-14 in favor of Envy?
Yeah, that is the golden question that we're still trying to answer here. Hard to really say. I mean, I feel like most of Daytona's T side looks really strong, and they're still able to fully buy off the back of how some of these last rounds have gone with some of these different bomb plants and the like. So I definitely feel like overtime is very, very possible. Quad B set up early, does a lot of nade damage, but Tiburcio fights right back. Luckily, Sam gets to trade back with his own HE, but again, the 4-on-4 with Sam low on health, that's going to give Daytona a real crack at overtime now.
Just reminds me of the Ivy push we saw out of Envy on train. Really able to survive.
Yeah, that's big.
Fugly trying to get in pit. See Detona at the moment looking to push in towards short, and they're able to get the kill on the Fugly. Ely able to fight things back and get one in his favor, but it's still going to be a 3-on-2. Nifty has an op, so it would be very difficult to retake this site.
Yeah.
Smoke comes in, does block off the full vision.
Just little small arrows from Envy keep adding up. Fugly not even thinking about lands. He backed up in the pit, just gives away a frag. He just needed to look. He just needed to stare in that direction and didn't. And now it's all on Ely and Nifty to try to see if they can keep Regulation Victory alive. It seems so unlikely, though, considering that they're down a man. Good kill. Quickly traded.
The man, the myth, potentially the legend here to clutch it out for Envy. Standing in, it's their coach in a 1-on-2, not able to do it. Of course, we're going to be hitting overtime here in our final map of the first series of the day. Didn't I call like 4 or 5 overtimes for this map? Prophet Kaplan over here. And Daytona's not going to go out without a fight.
It's a combination of things. Like, I feel like Daytona's playing pretty well. I think their spacing, the way that they move together as a unit, particularly on this lane, has been really good. Like, it's really nice to see. Definitely a better looking T side on there in front than what I've seen kind of in previous games. And then for Envy on their side, it's just so many little small mistakes adding up over time. You're finally starting to see some of the other players step up and play well individually at times, but there's nothing consistent. You're still relying on Ely, who's kind of in carry mode right now. It's tough, but they're going to go for that mid-aggression again. Oh, Sam would have took that shot.
Well, they do get in behind him. They do take down VSM. Sam's left to himself, though, at the B site. The first shot missing is not a good sign for them. Needs to connect onto something. Needs to get another man taken down, but unfortunately not able to hit the shot, which just puts things in a 4-on-4. The bomb should be planted here momentarily for Lukowski.
That's happened to him a lot of times with the AWP throughout this half. Hopefully it won't come back to haunt Envy. They do still have the man advantage on this retake situation. There's still a good chance to perhaps pry this one open, but a lot of their attack is focused in one direction, which is this banana flank.
Oh, Lukowski's not able to hit the shot against Nifty. They're still buying time. 3 players in from banana. PRT, he just gets gifted a double headshot from coming through, and that's going to be Nifty still able to close that one out, but that came down to being too close. PRT almost able to win that round basically by himself, and Envy will take the lead in the first half of overtime.
Big clutch there from Nifty. Like you said, it was a labored victory, though. PRT single-handedly shut down the banana portion of that retake, and so it was looking real dicey, to say the least, but it still does go the way of Envy. Obviously, Ryan kind of big on that with that mid-push, help things along early to get the early intel, as well as a kind of early man advantage to add to it.
No op for Detona, by the way. Just going to point that out on the T side.
Pretty common on Inferno not to see an op on T side, though. But look at this, it's continued aggression at middle. This time, though, it's not nearly as fruitful, at least not for Envy. Meanwhile, Detona licking their chops because they have pretty much already won this round unless they make a grave error. And it doesn't look like that's going to be happening as Tiburcio's found Ely. Kind of crazy they throw the Hail Mary twice like that at mid. I guess they were hoping to catch Detona way off guard, but does not pan out.
What was that saying we were talking about in the break room? Fool me once?
Yeah.
Actually, I wasn't in the break room. It was earlier today.
Fool me twice. Shane, at least that's what they say in Tennessee. I don't know. Have it here in Texas.
They say in Texas, but
yeah.
I'm assuming they have it in Tennessee.
Yeah. Kind of flubbed that one, but I think people got it.
I wanted to get to the third time, but I don't know if I'd be able to save the version I wanted to use.
I think that was like in a reference in like, what is it, like a J. Cole song? Can't
That's the
remember.
exact one I was going to use.
Yeah.
Well, 16-16 as Detona tie things up yet again. Remember, they were there in finals last time for Pro League for Season 9. Then the Sharks swept up, took away their chance, at least in the initial group stage, by coming out first. Nearly 30 kills now for this man. Remember, he's just the coach for the team. Well, I don't know what Lukowski was doing there. Just jumps around the corner with no gun in hand, right into the waiting arms. Stun over, Tiburcio gets a kill, and it seems like neither team's really able to get these clean rounds. It's just scrappy, it's bloody. We've already heard Tiburcio talk about that in the interview before the match began anyways.
Good situation, though, for Envy. They had the man up. They have Ely being able to focus on balcony because he has a teammate at top middle that can kind of cover the rest. The problem is that the positioning of Tiburcio is really, really scary because the CT still have to worry about maybe a mid-B split. But Fugly and Ely are up to the task on their own on the A side, and they will get that one-round edge as we switch sides. Again, it's a race to 19, MR316K. But we've seen this dance before.
It's not race to 19. It's going to be race to 28, I'm telling you right now.
Oh, okay. I just meant for like this half, it's a race to 19, you know? But yes.
We're going for a 5-hour best of 3. It's going to happen.
All right, man. All right. Let's be reasonable. There's no need for this. I'm sure if it were up to these two teams, they would not want to go that long. They would want to get this over with. Obviously, they want to be the victor, so it's as long as it takes in that case, but...
Double ops for Tiburcio and VSM. The first time, I feel like this is the first time we've seen them use it.
Yeah, they have been really hesitant on double op. Pretty much every single man. We very briefly saw VSM use it on Train yesterday.
Yeah.
But that was about it.
His Inferno op was pretty decent. I mean, obviously the scoreline was 11-4, so didn't really work out too well for them in the end, but...
And if you're looking for a bunch up on apartments right now, Pop Flash is going to be thrown by Nifty, who's out in the middle. Flash comes in. Lukosi is forced to kind of play back. This gives him space to walk out across the balcony, but VSM and PRT still combine for some great kills. PRT shutting down the top mid portion of this attack, even though they got the space into balcony and pit. It's still the numbers favoring Detona, so I'm trying to reel it back in, though, with that one.
The bomb in towards pit at least. Ryan trying to flank around, does eliminate one player. The problem is there's still going to be a man over towards short. It's going to be PRT. Let's get the bomb now down, but Ryan's going to sweep in, get the kill turn into a one-on-one. Him up against Turtle with 30 seconds left. He doesn't know where Turtle's going to be. He does get the jump on him. 17-17. This is tied up once more here. Moving to the last 2 rounds of the second half of our first overtime.
Big round up next. It guarantees yourself at least a spot in a second OT and gives you that one step closer, perhaps shutting it down in a single overtime. Got tailored there, the analyst for Envy, into the coach slot since Ely is playing. Trying to help out where he can. VSM getting a little bit aggressive maybe with the AWP over at middle. Actually holds kind of a forward angle, but doesn't step all the way out.
A little rough when you throw on those nades and he didn't do a single point of damage.
Yeah, pretty rare to see Tees make it this deep up top Banana without taking some type of utility damage along the way. Now, Turtle is going to get boosted. They did this once before against a mid-B split, like really early on in the first half. And it didn't work out for them, but they haven't done it in so long that maybe Envy won't expect to see it. And so if they do decide to do some type of play towards B again, it could catch them off guard.
Yeah, I remember Tiburcio just got destroyed from that position. He was looking over towards Banana, though. That was the problem.
And this time there is no like mid threat because they still do have coverage at library from VSM's AWP, so they know that they don't have to worry about some type of arch push. But as I say that, as smoke goes up in his face, flashes come out lane, and oh my goodness, they might actually be going for the mid-B split, but luckily VSM resettles inside the archway and could still shut this down. Misses his first shot though. Trying to scamper away as best as he can. Refaces, does get one on his way out.
They left the bomb. They left the bomb. Oh my gosh, sorry, I was getting really nervous there. Ely does notice it. If PRT pushed out, and left it any longer. That should have been Detona winning, but they might not need it, except Psalm has been able to open things up onto the B site.
Boost success rate 0 for 2.
So what percent's that?
0%.
Yep. All right, sir.
Sir, yes, sir.
Pause and PRT now. Trying to go for the retake here with the bomb now down. They got some utility used. Not the best weaponry, though, with the op.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. They have to go for it, obviously, but their chances of success seem pretty low considering the positioning here and the numbers, and it's gotten worse with Ryan finding that headshot. All on the cozy now. Not really a reason he should save, to be honest.
Yeah, but time, it's gone.
Yeah, I guess. Like, I mean, there is a little bit of low money on Tiburcio, and if you want to double op, maybe saving it would be good. Oh, awkward.
I was kind of hoping he would, like, pull off the knife.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, let's
That's
go.
definitely what the thought process was, but didn't quite happen.
It's like Psalm's rubbing off here.
Been pretty quiet through most of this series.
How many rounds have we played in this series is what I want to know.
I don't know. I'll let you figure that one out. I'm not even going to attempt it. But if I had to guess,
here.
I don't know. We had like probably 60 or close to 60 rounds in the first map, 28 in the second map. So let's say 88, and then whatever we're at right now. So well over 100.
116 rounds.
Yeah, something like that.
Before this match, we had 81.
Okay.
Sorry, before this map. Well, you know what? If you were in for a day of Counter-Strike, you're a little bit lucky. Considering we still have another match to come up. We got ATK up against Singularity. Both teams taking victories in their matches yesterday. But we'll get to that in a little bit of time because this is potentially the final round of this match. Detona needed to keep their hopes alive to set it into another overtime. And Envy needed to close things out to still be in the running for potentially coming out of the group in first place.
Yeah. It's a lot of work to do to not even really still have a guaranteed route to success. Oh, big kill though from Ryan. That's one step closer for Envy. Tiburcio trades back though. Ryan was trying to go after it, but Tiburcio resets and gets a second kill. And all of a sudden, that second OT, it lingers in the wind. It seems like it's blowing that direction in a big way. We'll see though if these remaining 3 Ts can still pry open this B bomb site as they gather up together. There's actually 2 fallen smokes that can be picked up so they can even smoke again towards CT spawning coffins. They baited out Tiburcio's options to know he's there, but then they reface him and he gets the kill.
You know what, Dust?
What's that?
Second overtime coming up here, 18-18.
Yep.
I hope Stunna and Dave, you're ready to cast later.
Yeah, I don't know that's going to happen. But, I mean, we've already casted what could be the equivalent of 6 maps, so I think it's only fair.
So that was 117 rounds now.
Yeah. We got a running order.
Minimum of 120 now. No, a minimum of 121 in the cards. Okay. All right.
I wonder what the longest best of 3 is.
I thought you said you did it.
I did the longest 2-0.
I mean, that is a best of 3.
I meant like a, well, yeah, but the longest best of 3 that included 3 maps. Like, come on now. Like, it's not
just
that hard.
saying,
It's not
like,
that hard to figure out.
technically-
I think it's pretty easy if you use your brain to figure that one out.
I've used all my brain power.
Yeah, I guess
maybe
that's
Envy
true.
has
Oh,
as well as
that's
they
a big kill
decide to
from
rush
Ryan.
in. VSM's going to go down. They still have 2 players in sight, though. They're wrapping around from long, though, and Ryan's going to lead the charge yet again. Gets completely blinded up.
Oh, my.
PRT takes down back 2. Looks for number 3 as Fugly peeks in from apartments. The
Do they know
rotation's going
about
to be
the
coming
cozy?
in.
I don't think he ever got spotted.
I don't think so. Well, he's low on, or he got tagged up.
Oh, peace.
Well, now they know.
Yeah. Guaranteed now to know. Tiburcio kind of beats the fire. Not sure if they realize that he got underneath porch or not. Now they do.
Turtle's got to help him out somehow. And that might have been what they needed. No more pressure from Petty. Still continues to push in. He takes down Nifty. One player left alive. It's going to be Sam now in the 1v1 against Tiburcio. He was a big player to keep them alive in the last overtime, but he's not able to close it out here. And Envy will get...
I don't know if he's saying get out the server because he's shit-talking or if because he really wants this game to be over.
I think he screamed, just let it end!
It's like the crying internally meme.
We still have 1 game to come up today. Let them play!
Yeah. That's the other thing you got to think about. Think about the other two teams who like thought they were going to start playing.
They've been here, I think, for like 3 hours. Like, we're playing soon, right? Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, it was 11-4 half. Of course you're playing soon.
Yeah.
Little did they know.
Dum, dum, dum. But Envy one step closer. Again, now the race is 22. But there is that possibility that I need to mention that if it goes 21-21, we can play more overtimes.
If you mean when it goes 21-21.
Yeah. That's kind of where I was headed, to be honest with you.
Ooh.
Yep. This could get a little bit interesting here at middle. Nifty does go down the VSM, who did something. Oh, no, that's Peak. Gets away with it as well. No trade back from Envy, so we could be seeing 19-19 here soon. Disadvantage for Envy is going to be a tough one. I haven't really seen them win too many 4-on-5s, to be honest. So when Ryan gets caught there with a nade in his hand, it never even cleared out sandbags before trying to go for a piece of utility. That's a dangerous game, and it's going to cost them.
I think, are they going to push it? If anything, Toro can just stay there, and Tiburcio can bait the shot.
Yep, exactly the setup that you're probably going to see. Looks like the bomb's also going to be heading that direction here soon, too, so that makes it even more scary.
Are they hoping Ely can distract with an op over towards A?
Not real sure. They're actually going to boost over. Oh! What? What? All right. Not the way I thought that was going to go.
Well, when you have 120 rounds played or something like that, I think you're bound to have something
weird happen. Yeah. Eventually, there's going to be a lapse in judgment that leads to something very awkward, and that's exactly what we got gifted there.
Oh, Sam blinded up. Fugly coming through now to 1v3. Gets the first kill, but you can't really ask for much more than that when they peek you pretty much all three at the same time. And we'll see a tie back again, 19-19.
It's all squared up again. A very weird round for being 100% honest.
I'm really confused with.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because he swung up really high and then he switched to his knife right away.
I just feel like the rifler that was still behind the wall kind of jumped the gun a bit because the opper gets a kill on his way out, I think. Something like that happened. And then the guy wall just kind of started spraying frantically. So, unless, maybe it was the op missed and it was VSM who actually got that kill. I can't remember exactly.
Speaking of VSM, by the way, 40-25.
Yeah, he's out there doing big things.
Ely, 35-28.
Yeah, it's definitely not the guy you thought would be in the, race for top fragger on the server. What we got going on here, Prius? I guess maybe he's just appreciating the Cyrex. I don't know. Not sure what type of subliminal message that he's trying to deliver to us. Oh, more chickens. I guess he was just looking for chickens. He's found one. Okay, yeah, confirmed.
Prius, take us into.
Why does he keep walking into the wall, though?
It's not a smart chicken.
Yeah, it is a chicken after all.
They might not be smart, but they are delicious.
They are pretty good.
There's still a game to watch, though. Prius just going to shoot. Yeah, there you go. She reminded you.
3 more seconds, though. He was just setting up the camera angle for the flyover. That's all it was. Let's play hopscotch next time, Prius. There's a hopscotch table. Let's see if we can. I don't know if you can do cameraman hopscotch, but.
Kidding me? This man can do anything that we wanted except draw on the minimap.
Yeah, I can't do that. I have to check Bardolph's Twitter for the day count.
I think Sapphire could do it. I'm just saying.
And here we go. Final round of the half. Of this half, at least.
So no double up coming back in for Detona. So it looks like they want to keep VSM on more of a floaty roll with the M4. Double peek in towards apartments.
Something different.
Yeah, I think that's probably the first time we've actually seen that so far in this matchup. And considering we're 38 rounds deep.
That's exactly the type of thing you have to do when you get this deep into a game. This many rounds being played. If you want to pull the wool over your opponent's eyes, you got to throw in that trickery. So that's a great way to do it. VSM capitalizes on another frag over on the arch side as well. So the numbers are dwindling for Envy. Looking like a 20th round for Detona could be in the works here. But we'll see the remaining 3 teams can figure something out. A great little entry from Ryan. That's certainly going to help things along. Still going as hard as he can, but Tiburcio not going to go out without a fight. The gap on the smoke as well is going to be pretty harmful.
Not gonna lie, a little bit surprised to see him go for the peak there. If he stays alive, it's a 4-on-3. I guess he puts it into a 4-on-2, and considering the angles you have to watch, maybe it wasn't that bad of a trade in the end of things, but we'll see how it's going to work out for him because the bomb is taken away. Nifty does have that op ready to go, and Fugly trying to cover a couple different angles, and he does help him out, assisting over towards Coffins, which allows Nifty now a little bit of a safer peek in towards Banana. He gets the kill. Now this should be a cleanup here for Fugly. 20-19. We're
Big
not done
round
just
for
yet.
Envy. Considering that they were well behind in that round, they lost the opening tool fight, so they're 3-on-5. They still somehow found a way to brute force their way through the B-bomb site. Obviously, Ryan's entry was pretty key. But good fragging for the rest of the team as well on the back end of it. So a one-round advantage as we move over to the next half here of OT number 2.
If we get one
Okay,
more
man.
overtime, this will have been a 5-hour series. Just saying.
It's like, that's the stuff I like to hear. Stuff of dreams.
You guys wish you could cast a 5-hour best-of-3.
With another best of 3 on deck
Yeah,
at 10 p.m.
can't forget about that.
Nah, it's all fine, man. It's been a lot of fun. We've seen a couple of crazy plays throughout this. You know, you think to the 2-on-5 on Train from Nifty, the ace from Fugly. Nifty had another ace at one point as well. We had that really funny round in ladder room with the Zeus. We had the funny round at half wall a few rounds ago. So we've had some cool stuff happen. And to add to that, Ely was doing something a little bit tricky in the window. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get away, so it's kind of just a one-for-one trade, though there is a lot of damage being dealt to Lucosi, and now Tiburcio's also off the board. Good start for Envy to this round, putting themselves to series point, perhaps in just a few moments. Perhaps, keyword, not an absolute.
Honestly, I didn't hear what you said. I'm not gonna lie. Because I'm focusing on these kills coming through. Look how is it now in a 1-on-4. It looks like Team Envy might be able to get on map and match point here if they can just close out this final kill of the round. They have the bomb. There might be an end to this madness that is this best-of-3.
Might being the keyword.
There will be an end to this madness at one point. I just can't tell you if it's the next 5 minutes or the next 35 minutes. Oh my, if he turned and killed him.
I can't even tell you how much I was hoping Nifty was just going to blank him with the AWP right there, but
You saw him do it in ladder room, right? On Train.
that's how that 2v5 started, yeah. I don't know if that's the exact player, but it was a similar situation.
Well, 15 seconds. No chance for the Cowsy to win this one. There we go. Team Envy on 21. 1 round to go. Out of the next 2. And they will be taking their first victory here in Group A. Again, so important for both these two teams to get a victory. Keeps you in the running for potentially taking first place in the group. If you lose, though, no chance. No dice.
You're out.
Do not collect $200 as you pass go.
Nope.
And go on home.
Although you do
After
get
your
some
match
prize
tomorrow.
money for making it this far, I think. I'm not sure how much, but you get a little bit of something.
Do we get prize money for making this far?
No. Just get that day rate.
Can we get like a double day rate for today?
I wish, that'd be great.
Rate and a
but
half?
no, probably not.
Well, Som being burned down to 52 health. They go for the early 3-man stack for Envy to defend B position. It looks like Detona want to pick up the pace yet again here. They could go for the wraparound over towards Arch. He's waiting for this. Malta comes in to buy him some time. Fugly's there as well, using the smoke to his advantage. Ryan gets the first kill, but Tiburcio's able to respond as well as turn on Ely. He actually might win this himself, push through the smoke, catches the first, but not able to get the second onto VSN. That could have been massive. That could have been enough to close out the game. The bomb, though, in the meantime,
it's
down towards T stairs.
Interesting. Interesting. Oh, gets called his knife out. Nifty gets the kill. And there's also still Som posted up at Banana. He knows that it's still not a foregone conclusion that this bomb's going A, but the problem is that PRT, he has a real dangerous position over here in live right now. Nifty, he might avoid it. He's getting inside the pit. He's resetting here. Som still has to be worried about everything because he knows that CT spawn's open. So this is a really, really stressful situation for both sides at this point.
But does Nifty think he's free in the site?
I don't think Nifty has any idea what's going on. And to be fair, you can understand why. Like, there's so many things that have happened, so many variables in motion. But Nifty is clearing things out little by little.
They've given up the A site, though. The bomb will be able to get in.
Yeah.
It will be planted.
Now it's kind of more normal positioning, though, because we've seen PRT kind of slide over to Graveyard. Now Nifty's just kind of opting from Arch side.
Uh-oh. If he could have got the bomb down on the transition, that might have been enough.
The problem is they still don't know if someone's CT spawn or not, so Som still can't move. He's still landlocked. They still don't know. Like, even though the bomb got planted, yeah, you still don't know where the second guy is, though. So it's so difficult. This has been a really, really weird round.
Oh, here we go. Detona trying to fight to stay alive in this match. Envy trying to close it out. Last bit of utility being thrown in. No one will be in towards pit. You can see Tiburcio on 6 HP, but he gets the first kill. Now it's all on Nifty in a 1-on-2. One towards Graveyard, one in sight. Now he knows at least where both players are going to be, but unfortunately they can't do much against Tiburcio. And Dust, can you feel it in the air right now?
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Hold on. Get Phil Collins out here, baby, because we're going the distance.
There's the potential.
Was that actually Phil Collins or was that Genesis? Because I mean, it was Phil Collins singing the song, but I'm not sure if that would technically been a Genesis track. I don't know if that was like a solo act or not.
I have no answer for you.
I don't think.
I can recite most Backstreet Boys or NSYNC songs, but I cannot tell you if it was Phil Collins or Genesis. I'm sorry.
No, it's just Phil by himself. All right, thank you, production.
There we go. Detona need this round. Double up coming back in for Envy. Trying to get extra cheeky towards Banana, getting some. And this is where he was basically holding from before, and they're just leaving him here yet again. He should be able to have a relatively, well, I was going to say relatively easy kill, but a great flashbang comes through to dislodge him from this position, though. Minute 20 left, and they have one smoke left on Ryan. The B site is going to be left very vulnerable here if Detona did continue to go this way, but that op actually connects onto 2 players through the wall.
Indeed it does, and they're backed off, and now we do see another player coming around. Still no utility, though, to really stop this T aggression inside the site. They need to land their op shot. Sama is going to be able to find his, but then goes out. Luckily, Nifty's still around. He also chimes in, so it's a 4-on-3. It's going to have to be the retake, though. Bomb is definitely going down. No ifs, ands, or buts about that.
Three flashbangs and a Molotov to use for Detona. 2 flash and Cinder to use for Envy. To wait for the smoke to dissipate before they have a chance to push in. That Molotov missing, though, might actually come back to hurt Detona here. Nifty connects the first shot on Locality, not trying to push in. They're going to expect a player up high, or is it not? Tiburcio's going to be there. He's going to have a 1v1, another 1v1. He gets the double kill. Foggy's going to come in, all down to Turtle to keep Detona alive, to throw it into another overtime. He's got to pick up these kills. He does get the person on the bomb, but does he have time to defuse it? He has the kid. It's going to be so close here.
So
Envy
close.
hoping the defuse is going to work off, and they will finally end the madness of this first best of 3 of the day, closing things out at 22-20. But damn, that was close.
I think that's kind of the statement of the century. Just crazy stuff. And now we're going to get into some cool stuff. What are we going to get into? Why don't you tell me?